chosen ones, empaths, I want you to understand that the narcissist is not living their best life. Okay? They're not living their best life. I know many of you think that they are, right? But they're unsatisfiable creatures. They're unsatisfiable creatures. That's what they are. So, even with you, alright? They didn't appreciate you. They threw their toys out the pram. They didn't appreciate you. So, this should indicate to you that they're not going to live their best life and everything like that. They don't, embrace life like you do. So they're an unsatisfiable creature. So they're not living this happy life. What you're seeing on social media, I just made a video about social media if you want to check that out. But what they're doing on social media is not their real life. Social media is so inauthentic, okay? It's not their real life. You've got to know that. So I just want you to embrace that. Put it in the chat, right? What have you seen? What have you seen where they're living their best life? And I'll try and answer it if you feel comfortable to, that is, of course. Okay? If just put something in the chat when you want to, and I'll try and answer it. Like, what are you seeing? Because it's mainly the new supply. People get triggered with the new supply. Then that makes you start to reflect at yourself, look within yourself and see fault in yourself. And there's no fault in yourself. All right? There's no fault in yourself. You've got to know that. You've all got to know that. It's something you've all got to get over. Okay, if you have the morals and principles that if someone treats you badly or runs out on you or goes with a new supply or starts hanging around with a group of minions or whatever like that and leaves you out, then that's their loss. You've all got to adopt that they've lost out. Just like you'll look upon someone who you're wiser than. All right, so you may look at a child. If you have children, you'll say, oh, you can see them going into error. This is what they're doing. They're going into error. The reason why many of you think that they're living their best life is because they've extracted your energy through a long, dragged out period of time. However long that time may be, it's someone literally draining your energy. And they've gone out there intoxicated with the level that you built them up to. Alright? I've been saying recently, it's the very people you help that step on you. Okay? It's just the way of the world. Right? They get envious. They think they're better than me. I'll show them. They get egotistical. Right? So you need to know that they have gone off with your supply, but it won't last. And the thing is, they're freely sharing this supply that you gave them. They feel energized. One, because they've hurt you, okay? Another thing is just the energy drain that they literally naturally take from you, but also the drama that they got from you. This makes them propel off into life, right? So that's what you are seeing now. But it's still the mask. You've all got to know it's still the mask, right? It is still the mask that you're seeing when they go out into the world. I said in a recent video, I don't know if you checked it out, but they put on the mask afterwards. So you see them unmask, but what you're seeing now on social media, what you're seeing them do is the mask again. They've got that firmly attached again. But you need to know that they were the happiest that they could possibly be with you. That's the best you're going to see them. They ain't going to get that again. They ain't going to get to that level again. All right? They just are not. They really ain't going to reach that happiness state that they was with you, because that persona that they constructed to be around you, that very persona that they constructed to be around you was actually like their best version that they could possibly be, like the pinnacle of what they could be, because you started to teach them to live with ethics and morals and decency and things like that, and they had a bit more influence over other people being around you. So what it is they're intoxicated. They make a bad choice. They start endlessly giving to other people. They actually get abused. They actually get taken advantage of because they're being naive when they go back out there. Remember, they've been mirroring an empath or a chosen one for long periods of time. Some of you have been with them for decades, and they've been mirroring. So literally, they start reflecting that back out when they go back out there. They start reflecting that out to everyone around them. But they start to realize that, oh wow, people ain't on your level. People don't have morals and decency. People don't talk truth. They can't trust these people they're around. This is what they start running into. Okay? So, Kim Ann. Yeah, they've gone out thinking the grass is greener. In whatever, yeah. And now they're stuck in whatever, and yeah. I remember someone said, when I first started the channel, they said they went out there to get to the to the greener grass, they thought, but they ended up on AstroTurf. That's what someone told me years ago. So I used to say it. Afterwards, he reached out and said I was his best friend despite him being with the new supplier. Wow. Thank you for sharing, Kim Ann. That's, yeah. That shows it. And it can really catch you in the moment if they do something like that, because many of you do go through that, where they actually seem to open up or something like that. But like you must know, if you do engage in that, even if they left a new supply for you and went back with you, it's going to be a disaster, right? It's going to literally be a disaster. They are a walking disaster, all right? You know, it's the hurt and the pain why some of you can't see it straight away. Okay, the hurt and the pain, the confusion, the trauma bond, all of that will fade when you've heard it all before about just learning to not feel like you need them to speak to them. They don't reciprocate. They didn't reciprocate even when you was around them. Okay? And what I mean by reciprocate, they don't acknowledge what you're saying. They always argue or escalate or do these things. That's what they do. They're always on drama. Okay? So that's another thing. Even when you was in your best days of the relationship, they weren't happy with that. They wanted to add in a fuel injection, conversion of supply, and bring drama and chaos. And that's ultimately what they tried to do. It's for a myriad of reasons, narcissistic injuries being the main one, but they converted your supply source to someone they push away. But like Kim Ann has had, they've actually had them reach out and say, you're my best friend. And that can happen to some of you as well. But I have to bring to your awareness that sometimes they're very stubborn and they don't do that. But I've heard it a lot of times. Just like Kim said, I've heard it from people that they do that. Right? So it's possible, but don't wait on it. Right? Don't wait on it. Who in the live thinks the narcissist is living their best life? That's what I want to direct to. Because Kim's had a blatant sign, but collectively we can all learn from Kim's experience that this is the same creature. That's why I've been talking recently about the ones that want to reach out, the ones that want to say something, but they don't know how to actually communicate it effectively enough towards you. They don't know how to say it, right? They literally don't. They don't know how to approach you. That's why I've done videos on the burning of the bridge. Okay, they don't know how to approach the situation because they've burnt the bridge. Remember, this transition was meant to be their upgrade, was meant to be their level up. And if they have you under the impression that you think they've leveled up or they're doing better now, then they think they've won. They'll be happy with you just under the impression that they've done better, even if they know their life's miserable. They're more likely to sway towards living a miserable life with a new supply if they know you're miserable over it. Remember, they like negative supply more. Okay? They like negative supply more. So, I think he married her 5 months ago after we broke up, but reached out and kept saying I was his best friend and that it wasn't what I thought it was. Brief moment of regret, but he's still a narcissist. Exactly. Plastering over the cracks. That marriage stuff, having children, they have children for the wrong reasons. They get married for the wrong reasons, right? It's still aimed at you, Kim. That's what, it might be a bit deep for some of you to understand. It's very, okay, I'm going to bring up an example. Have you seen cheaters and things online where they get caught? Okay? Like real experiences of cheaters and things. And they blame the person in the video. They'll blame the victim, right? They'll blame the victim for this stuff. This is what I'm saying. Just because you haven't had a conversation like that, or some of you might have, but they're actually, they're blaming you for what they're doing. It's like, when you don't, this is why truth and transparency is so important, because when you don't be truthful and transparent, it creates a pent-up energy within you that you're not releasing to, you're not releasing it, so it will come out, I think, right? If you disagree, that's okay, but I think it will come out in a weird way. So that's why you're seeing the nature of the beast be released within this narcissist, because they don't know how to communicate. That's a consequence of not being able to communicate or transparent. Now, you know, you can be introverted. You can be someone who, like, it doesn't matter, but you can still be transparent. All right. Even if you don't, you don't have to. It doesn't mean opening up to everyone, but I mean, communicating truthfully. They don't know how to do it. They literally don't. It's weird because he was saying I was his best friend and also berating me in the same conversation. Yeah, they're confused. They're confused. You know, they're confused. That's the sly stuff. They do that all the way through the relationship. Sly digs, sly stuff. They honestly do that all the way through the relationships. Try to drag you down. Okay, it's also their means of protection. Okay, if he approaches you in a way saying you're his best friend and then berates you, he feels in a powerful position. But it's just fucking bullshit, basically. Okay, excuse my language, but it is, right? It's just some weird behavior, It's like a protection for them. That's why a lot of them do the fake profiles. That's why a lot of them do to have an element of protection from you. Not that you're going to endanger them or anything like that, right? But it's because they don't want to be confronted and exposed. So they can't, you know, that's why they don't open up or communicate transparently towards you. They don't know how, but if they did, they'll be a much healthier person. A much healthier person. They'd feel lighter, they'd feel free. They're harboring a lot of darkness, okay? So please embrace that they are a walking disaster, right? They are a walking disaster, all right? They literally are. And some of you might be still under the impression that they're living their best life, but maybe you're looking at your own life and feeling down and feel like you're lacking something because they're not in it. And that's something you got to wrap your head around. It doesn't happen overnight. Some people it does. It can be instantaneous, dark night of the soul, something like that. But you got to wrap your head around that you don't need this person in your life to feel like you're living. Honestly, one sure sign is people will start to think that you become like who you was before you met the narcissist. Thank you for being here. Yeah, that's something that you will become before you met the narcissist. That's who you all need to find again. Okay, that's on your path of ascension to when you become your new version. You actually enjoy life. Do you know what's more of a crushing blow? Like, a lot of you might be under the impression that, oh, if you move on very fast and stuff like that, it will trigger them. No, it won't. You finding happiness yourself in your own life without them, and then finding something, that's more of a crushing blow. Or even if you don't find something, finding happiness and meaning inside your own life it defeats them. It really defeats them. Thank you. Click the like button, yeah, if you can. If you enjoy it, if you resonate with the message, of course. I just realized I didn't have an identity. I'm starting to find things that I'd like to do, Kim, and yeah, that's what it is. You find things, okay? You literally find things. It will come to you. I remember some people that I've spoken to, after the narcissist, they decorated their house or renovated their house. So you hear me talk about purpose and meaning, but these are things, making your house a home or doing things like that. They channeled their energy towards that. That's what it all is. It's a big energy drain. So you feel used, you feel like empty, because they've literally physically drained you. And like I was saying, some of you might have joined the live where I'm at now. Like I was saying to you, they go off into life afterwards with your supply, intoxicated. Honestly. And one sure thing is they don't ever want you to know is how special you really are. They really don't. Like, someone who's genuine will be like, wow, you're a pleasure to be around. Wow, you're a decent person. And they'll compliment you in an authentic way. Okay? Or you'll get some indication that they're fond of you, right? Narcissists ain't gonna do that. They do everything backwards. They're gonna make out they hate you. They're gonna make out you're the worst thing in the world. They're gonna make out, because you're a free spirit and there's a lot of layers to you. You confuse them. This is why I say you always have the final discard, because when you don't reach out and you leave them alone, even if you tried at first and you just leave them alone, that's a crushing blow, because they misinterpreted that everything you gave, you'd be on the shelf forever. That's what they thought. And all of you are gonna get to a place where you find things that you like to do, like Kim. You're gonna find happiness in your own life. It's not me singing you sweet songs. Like, this is what I think the universe or God or your angels or your ancestors want from you to do, right? To find this stuff in your own life, by yourself. Even if you've got family and children and whatnot, in your own self, finding that happiness and realizing that it's a bad decision. That's a bad decision that you learn by, but it's a bad decision to invest someone as the answer to your meaning in life and happiness. Why? We're singular. We're singular people. Okay? I'm gonna bring up something now, but many of you must have seen Siamese twins and things like that. Okay? This is how a narcissist. It's not because that's an illness and stuff, but I'm saying they're literally conjoined to you. So obviously when they go, it feels like a piece of you's been ripped out. But they're not meant to be that invested in you and near you. It's actually unhealthy. Okay? It's much better for you to have your own life. Look, like Kim said, finding things to do. And then you meet a friend or a romantic relationship, or you meet someone and you've got things going on in your own life, or you're not just diving so deep into someone else. Right? It's not the answer to it's just not the answer. It's really not the answer. So I'm sorry, I did promise to be going live more often, but I had a little break and I was still posting, but oh, Kim said, sorry Kim. Yes, that's why he was giving me compliments, but then had to top it off with something nasty, comments and belittling. Yeah. It's the form of protection, like I was saying. Everyone, yeah, I just come on live again, but I'll be on live tomorrow. The chat was getting really active before, and when I was on here, but I'm sure some of you are just listening and stuff. Please, sometimes maybe you don't want to say anything, but honestly, they're not living their best life. Like I said in the opening segment, they're unsatisfiable creatures. They're searching for happiness. They don't find it. Happiness is a fluctuating emotion that is not constant. Okay, in any human being, it's not constant. So they're not the answer to your happiness. All right, and you need to know that. Okay, a piece of you's been ripped out. You've been deceived. You've been taken advantage of by this narcissist, friend, family member, whoever it was, romantic relationship, and you'll find yourself again, whole again. It's about the rebuilding. It's about the healing. Okay, put the work in. Channel your energy towards yourself. It's time that I don't want to say this, it's going to sound wrong, but it's time where you put your energy into yourself and stop giving it to other people. Honestly. So anyway, thank you all very much for joining today. One thing I just announced, right? I've launched I released some EPs. Okay, I've released 2 recent ones, music. I know it might not be for everyone, but there is lessons within it. Okay, if you want to check it out, I don't know if I put the link in this description. I should have put it in there, but the link is also in the description of the recent videos. Okay, to the recent EP. It's called Agenda. There's a song on there, Invisible Man, I done about it's called Invisible Man, but anyone can gain from it. But how they tried to make you feel invisible, and this is how you may be feeling now. So you'll hear within the wordplay of what I tried to address. And there was another one, something I made a video about it recently, yesterday. The negative forces or the devil, can affect every single one of us, right? And I felt myself swaying. Nothing to do with narcissists or anything, but just in life. And I got the energy and I channeled it into a song, and it was about lunchtime, so I made a song called Devil's Lunch. But yeah, that's if you want to check it out, I would appreciate any support and any of you that subscribe as well. So I hope you all have a blessed rest of the week, and I'll be back tomorrow with another live stream. Peace, everyone. Thank you so much.